Hey ho, welcome back all of you Shadowrun lore enthusiasts. It's So Easy Mode once again, ready to bring you some more lore for your brain. I am joined by only one of my co-hosts this evening, as always. With me every single time, I have the reliable Austin. Austin, how are you this
Oh,
evening?
that's me. Old and reliable and ready to lore.
Ready to lore, reliable lore
Relorable
meister.
Austin, that's what they call me.
Relorable.
Old relorable.
Get it printed on a t-shirt. Old relorable. Well, you may be asking yourselves, what could we possibly be getting into this evening with just the two of us? Hopefully some shenanigans, hopefully some great tangents, maybe even some more superhero ones. Who knows, okay? Anything is possible when you leave just Austin and I together to talk about stuff. But the overall topic for tonight, we're going to be talking Bioware. We already jumped into the different aspects of all the different cyberware that you could possibly cram into your body. Well, now we're going to go the opposite direction. And we're going to talk about what can be integrated already into your biological systems.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about more of your body that you could cram out to get in more technology. Well, actually,
Mm,
I mean, that still kind of fits, I think, actually, with the way you described it.
um, yeah, with the way things are going to be described and what we're going to be talking about, anticipate lots of selling your body for more wear jokes. Woo!
Well,
Woo!
welcome to the Cronenberg episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're probably going to get lots of that from this. Oh boy, put on your body horror hats. Here we go. I guess the easiest place to start is, what the hell is BioWare?
It's a great question, Easy. I'm glad you asked.
That's what I'm here for, to ask those really complex, in-depth questions. So BioWare augments body functions and must be integrated into the body's own workings as if they were a natural
Mm.
feature.
So from a modernistic standpoint, it'd be like a pacemaker.
Kinda. Essentially, doctors replace organs and tissue with other organic
Right.
parts, while a cyber technician can forcibly alter or replace whole elements of the body. A biotechnician
Hmm.
cannot.
Interesting. Oh, okay. So less of a pacemaker, more of like getting like a
Skin
or
graft.
yeah, like a I was gonna say like a pig valve if you have like a heart operation. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. Yes. The designer of BioWare must study and understand each of the body's subsystems and organs before they can create successful and non damaging biological equipment.
I think that the designer of BioWare peaked at Mass Effect 2. Oh,
Oh,
ah, cha cha cha.
oh, oh, fresh
I was
joke.
I was trying I
Fresh
was trying to think
joke.
of when would be the best time to slot in a BioWare the company joke and
That was well done.
okay.
Uh,
That's our one for the night, guys, so go ahead and mark that on the bingo card. We can
yeah, make sure you're following along on your bingo cards
Yep,
here.
yep, we can go and move on now.
Shepherd. BioWare is undetectable except by intensive medical examination, so it can't just be picked up on scanners. Casual searches, X-ray scans, and the like cannot discern the difference between an augmented organ and the original.
Hmm.
However, additional glands and organs can be detected by examining X-ray film. Apart from exploratory surgery, the only way to determine that an individual has undergone biological modification is through metabolic analysis, such as urine analysis or a sophisticated blood test.
I see. So unless you're looking for it, it's pretty easy to mask it.
Correct. The greatest advantage, perhaps, of BioWare is its capacity for self repair. Once implanted, BioWare can call on the body's natural repair mechanisms because it becomes part of you, so that makes sense.
Oh,
If it
that's
couldn't do
nice.
that, this wouldn't be
Right.
this would be a very short episode.
Yeah. Yeah, getting a replacement Bioware grafted arm wouldn't be very helpful if every time you skinned
It didn't.
skinned your elbow, it
It
just
just
it
stayed
just
skinned.
never
Yeah.
healed again. It just becomes a mountain of scab at some
But
point.
uh, all the Nurgle enthusiasts would love you.
That's very true. Papa
Mm-hmm.
is proud.
Pavlov's so proud. So, implanting your BioWare. BioWare does not require the neural changes that most cyberware does, nor is its impact on the body direct the body's integrity as drastic. Therefore, BioWare does not cause essence loss. That's a huge bonus.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've always kind of associated that the concept of essence was more based around it's okay, as a for myself, and tell me if this is appropriate.
Okay.
I've always kind of viewed the way that essence and magic are handled in their conjuncture with tech similar to the way that they kind of explain force powers in the Star Wars universe, in the sense of Darth Vader was never able to use force lightning because he had robot arms. And so you would
Mm-hmm.
need to have that organic conduit in order to be able to channel the power through. So it limited his actual ability to the wider
Right.
range of force abilities that he'd be able to use due to how
Mm-hmm.
much of him was robot. So I kind of always translated that to the way that cyber tech is handled within Shadowrun as well.
Yeah, that I would say that's pretty close. I mean, you're giving up more of your natural body, what they consider your soul, sort of
Hmm.
in essence. And you need the more pure you are in essence, the easier it is for you to be a conduit for magic
Right.
because you have more of your natural body. So BioWare kind of works in conjunction there, where you don't lose essence for putting BioWare in,
Right.
and you can have both BioWare and cyberware implanted. The trade-off is that as you install cyberware, you lose essence, right?
Right.
So as you install BioWare, you cannot go over what your modified essence threshold is. So kind of in game terms,
So, mhm,
in terms of the game, you well, at least in the third edition and in some others, you had everybody had six
right.
essence to start, right? And then every piece of cyberware you put in costs like zero point 0.5 or 1 essence, right?
Right.
So your essence goes down. So as you cram cyberware, you end up with like say like a 3.5 remaining in your essence.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can cram BioWare in, and BioWare has a bio index cost of like 1 or zero point 0.5, like the cyberware does.
Right.
But if you have the cyberware where you're down to 3.5, that means any BioWare that you put in can't be more than that 3.5.
Because that would be the remainder of your quote unquote physical form that you would have to be able to adapt to the BioWare that you would be installing.
Right, because you've given
Right.
up those other parts of your body. They're now machine. They're no longer biological.
And I would assume that that would also play into the specificity for what types of BioWare you could then have implanted. Like, say, if I had biotech arms, I could not then have some type of BioWare that would also be arm based
Right.
because I would have robot arms.
Right. There's nothing to replace. There's no muscle to replace.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. That checks out.
Yes. So yeah, that's what makes it kind of unique in that you can layer the two over each other. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing. Obviously, you can't get muscle replacements in your arms. If you have cyber arms, there's no muscle to replace.
Gotcha. Okay. I have an interesting question for you then on that standpoint.
Okay.
What do you think Robocop's essence value is?
Um, so having actually tried to kind of build a Robocop character before
Uh huh.
in Shadowrun,
Uh huh.
um, Robocop cannot exist in Shadowrun without being a cyber zombie.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
With the amount of cyberware that is crammed into him,
Hmm.
he just can't exist
Okay.
because there's no essence left.
Right. Yeah, he's the dude's at like -6 essence instead.
Yeah, he's crammed full of cyberware. Like you can make him
Uh-huh.
in the rules of Shadowrun. It's just he if you want absolutely everything,
Yeah.
he definitely ends up being a cyber zombie with everything that you need to cram in there.
Gotcha.
Because we're talking cyber arms, cyber legs, cyber torso, smart link system, uh cyber compartment
For the
for
gun. Hmm.
the gun. Um you know what? I almost want to just open up the character generator I have and see what we can cram in there. Oh my god. So tempting. Maybe we'll come back to it towards the end and we'll think about everything that he
Yeah,
has
absolutely.
and we'll see if we can cram enough stuff
Yeah.
in there. So, uh let me just do this really quick. Okay. There we go. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it right now. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do this, everybody. You're in for a treat. We're actually going to build um we're gonna try and build Robocop really quick.
We're gonna do the same thing that Cyberdyne tried to do, and we're gonna build Alex
All
Murphy.
right, there we go. That's fine. All right, augmentations. So let's see here. So obviously we have to give him cyber arms. Are we putting all of this in alphaware or standard? Alphaware lowers the essence cost, but increases the price. But you know what? We're gonna turn rules off so we can just we
Hmm.
have unlimited funds. We're OCP.
Ooh. Yeah, I was gonna say if we have to consider that in the Shadowrun
Mm-hmm.
universe, say that this guy's probably being billed by like Ares, they would have access to unlimited funding for the best tech to put in him.
All
So
right, so pair of obvious cyber arms.
uh-huh.
Uh pair of obvious cyber legs. Cyber obvious cyber torso. Jeez. So just to let you know,
Yep.
with all of that,
Uh-huh.
we have gone from 6 essence to 1.6 essence remaining.
Woo!
We need smart link.
Uh-huh.
That's in there now. We need a body compartment.
Yep.
Uh, gun holster,
Would he
right?
also have like
Where is it?
enhanced reflexes or
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know about that. I don't know if he would have wired
okay.
reflexes. He wasn't exactly
Wired
like
reflexes.
sprinting and moving very quickly. He would just tank the hits,
I mean,
right?
yeah, but well now you've got me
That's what
wondering
I feel
because now I'm starting to think easy. I think we might be talking about different Robocop movies
like.
here.
Okay, which RoboCop are you talking about? The remake? You're talking about the remake or the original? Let's just put that out there right now.
I mean, personally, I have to be talking about the original because I adored the original movie.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But
Yes,
but
original movie.
from the point of if we're trying to make the
But
most ridiculous Robocop, I think that
uh-huh.
wired reflexes would be appropriate.
You think wired reflexes would be appropriate?
Also, because we're trying to spend as much essence as we can here.
All
So,
right, so you want to put wired reflexes in him?
yeah.
Okay, bad news.
Okay.
Even even the lowest wired reflexes at wired reflexes 1, we can't do it without him immediately going to cyber zombie.
Curses.
And I haven't even put the holster in yet.
All right, classic Murphy, that's fine.
So no wired, but we need would you say it's just a body compartment or
Yeah, I would say just body.
there should actually be I know where this is taking us longer than we initially thought it would, but here we are trying to do crazy stuff. No, he doesn't have a cyber gun. All right, we're just going to put the cyber compartment on and say that's his gun holster. Okay.
Okay.
What else? We have the arms, the limbs, the torso, the smart link, the body compartment.
I mean, I feel like from a base level,
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much covers all the grounds for what I think you would need to do a RoboCop. Once you get into more, again, like with the wired reflexes situation, I feel like at that point we're just nitpicking.
Since he is like just
Uh-huh.
a head and some lung tissue and everything, would you say that he also needs bone lacing?
Oh, I mean, okay, counterpoint,
Uh-huh.
what bones are there to lace?
Ah, that's true. That's true. Good call. Good call.
Because if he's got cyber limbs already
Then there's
anyway,
nothing, there's no bones to wrap around.
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, doesn't need it, doesn't need it, doesn't need it. What about that computer interface that he has? Would we call that a data jack? The spike that he deploys from his fist?
I mean,
Or would you call it something else?
it would probably be a data
Okay.
jack. In terms of how it would be applicable for
Uh-huh.
Shadowrun, I think it would be a
Data jack. Okay. That's what we're calling it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. Technically,
Uh-huh.
the data jack is under the headwear, but we'll just call it like it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is our
Okay.
Robocop after all.
This is our Robocop. Okay. Oh, wow. Anything else? We got the data jack, the body compartment for the gun holster, the smart link, the obvious cyber limbs and torso. Anything else that he needs?
Nothing I can think of.
You think of? Is that it? Is that it?
I think that's us. I think, well, I think that's him. I think that's him.
Okay. Okay. So, congratulations. He is not a cyber zombie.
I want to guess
Sure. Go ahead.
0.25. I don't even know if 0.25 exists, but I feel like in some way we figured out the way to just skirt the absolute closest we can to the sun here.
No, actually, it's not 0.25.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be if we wanted to give him like cyber eyes, but he has his natural
See,
natural eyes.
see, I was considering that as well, but I always
Uh-huh.
associated like the cup vision stuff to the visor and not his
Right.
actual eyes.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So
Yeah, so the smart link still is integrated into the rest of the body and then to the visor
okay.
is how it would work. This is a huge tangent, everybody. I'm so sorry, but here we are.
Hey, remember, never apologize to the audience. They know what they signed up for when they clicked play on this episode.
You know what? That's true.
We're how many episodes into this, Easy? If we still have to apologize for every time that we tangent, we're never going to talk about the title.
It's true. I'm pretty sure we're over 70.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And for everybody that's been here, we appreciate you.
We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you so
and
much.
would like to remind you that this is exactly what you
This
signed
is
up for every
100%,
single episode that you've come here for.
what you signed up for. All right, so just with all of that, I'm going to remind you this is all in alphaware, so it's like
Top of the line.
the next step up.
Mm-hmm.
We are sitting at 0.88 remaining.
Ooh. On the money.
So obviously it's less than 1, so he can't walk around without people knowing that he's cybered.
Uh-huh.
Which is the goal here. But there we go. Yeah, we got really close. If you wanted him to move faster,
no,
with wired reflexes, then yeah, he would be a cyber zombie.
No, I think he's perfect as he is now.
Okay.
Again, I also like the concept of OG Robocop where he just slow walks everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Because he's indestructible.
That's fair. That is fair. He is
like watching,
in fact, indestructible.
Watching him and Jason from Friday the 13th have like a foot race would be the most excruciating thing of all time.
Oh, geez. You're not wrong about that. Yeah, he is who is he slow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's very slow, but he makes up for it with his augmentation.
Hey, that's where that smart link comes in play. All right, he doesn't need to be faster than the guy. He just needs to get that lock on.
He just needs that one good shot, everybody. That's all he needs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, there we go. We made him following 3rd edition rules to where he would have 0.88 essence remaining.
0.88. Love it. I love it.
So there you go. It's possible. He'd just be really slow.
Boy, would he.
All right. Well, back On topic to
Mhm.
Bioware. Where were we? We're in implanting. So bio implants can be installed in any metahuman with a matching blood type and sometimes metatype or gender.
Okay.
Usually grown through advanced methods in a generic organ donor. The implants are designed to be smoothly integrated into the body, though they are not tailored for any body in particular. Installation usually requires a battery of immunosuppressive treatments, convincing the body it should accept the implant as part of itself. So you have to trick the body
Right.
into accepting the implant.
What do you mean? It's been here the whole time.
We did say that cyberware and bioware can be integrated in the same body, though a few select implants are incompatible.
Mm.
It has a list here, I think. Uh, oh, there's the drawback of excessive bioware. And here's the incompatibility list. Well, we'll talk about all the bioware and then we'll probably end towards what's incompatible with these. Sound good? All right, well, let's continue on.
Okay, what do you got?
Like cyberware, bioware does come in grades. The basic quality of bioware
Uh-huh.
uh, is just called basic. It's the most common. Bioengineered by type, including blood classification and metahuman variants, it is considered off the shelf, quote unquote, bioware.
Ah, uh-huh.
The next step up is cultured bioware. This is tailor made for the intended recipient, protein matched, and grown from a cellular matrix derived from the host. So you have to donate tissue sample so it can actually be grown from your own DNA.
Ah, okay.
In medical terms, cultured bioware is actually a modified organ or set of biological material cloned from the person who will be receiving it.
Okay.
It is also known as the friendliest type of implant because it's grown from your own cells. So, therefore, it will most likely integrate much easier into your body.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's also used bioware,
That
so,
sounds like a bad idea.
sometimes called secondhand bioware,
Sometimes literally.
sometimes literally, so as not to disgust the bargain hunters. The secondhand market is growing. While some parts are available from the original owners, BioWare acquired from corpses or through other nefarious means is more common. Only basic BioWare can be found secondhand. Cultured BioWare is by definition protein matched and cannot be implanted into another body. So if you're worried about it, make sure you spring for the cultured BioWare
Right.
so that your organs can't be harvested. BioWare drawbacks. The BioWare users suffer from a number of drawbacks and side effects as their natural systems have been thrown a little off balance. Health problems can increase, ranging from minor annoyances to dangerous complications. BioWare users also suffer from decreased immunity to pathogens, poisons, and other compounds. BioWare tends to tie up immune system resources as the body continuously attempts to adjust for the biotech changes. This can mean longer healing times,
Mm,
especially with more complicated biosystems. So, the more BioWare you pump into yourself, the longer it could take for you to heal naturally.
gotcha. Because at that point, it's even though it's integrated, it's still not, the original
Correct.
biology. So the body's just having a harder time with it.
BioWare has an impact on the somatic and magical integrity of awakened characters, altering the body's makeup with BioWare. Even cultured BioWare clone from the awakened character alters the body's ability to channel mana. Metaphorically, if mana is viewed as electricity that is conducted through the awakened body,
Hmm.
then BioWare is essentially a resistor impeding the flow, though not as detrimental as cyberware.
Gotcha. So more restrictive, but not uh like completely unusable
Right.
or unadaptable.
So with that, basically it doesn't it doesn't lower your magic rating like installing cyberware would. Instead,
Uh-huh.
it just impedes the flow. So in the terms of the game, once again,
Uh-huh.
since the BioWare is acting more like a stopgap, right?
Right.
to impede the flow. So you would lower your magic rating by the character's bio index and round down to the nearest whole number for the new magic rating.
So it makes all their magic weaker.
Yes. Essentially weakens you without technically removing your full potential.
Right.
So
It's just not going to be as strong as it was.
yeah, basically you'd still have your original magic rating and you'd be able to collectively add spells and everything based off of that. It's just that the force of your spells would then be affected by your altered magic rating because of your Bioware.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Indeed.
I'm trying to make it as uh understandable as possible because
Yeah, yeah.
it can get pretty technical.
Yeah, no, it's cyberware prevents it and
Well, cyberware
bioware
prevents and Bioware impedes.
impedes. Yep.
If
Sorry, a lot of wares
a
tonight.
lot of wares, yeah. If you want the best Bioware, you're looking at two major players. One is the megacorp Shiawase. Shiawase has by far the largest amount of assets sunk into biotechnology research and is the
Mhm.
primary provider of Bioware implants throughout the world.
Right.
So if you want Bioware or biotech, you're most likely getting it from Shiawase.
A name you can trust.
I don't know if that's their slogan.
It should be.
I could look it up for you really quick.
It'll put a lot of people at ease, I'll tell you that much.
uh their slogan is advancing life.
Ah, that's good too.
It's
It's on brand, all right? It's on brand at least, you know?
true. It is on brand. The next one that is a
Mhm.
power player is Universal Omnitech. They are not a AAA megacorp though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they one of the AA corporations?
They are a double A corporation.
Okay.
Yeah. While Shiawase does it all, Universal Omnitech does it better.
Oh.
Though not a AAA megacorp, their strategic alliance with As Technology has allowed Universal Omni to keep a foothold at the top of the biotechnology pyramid. Universal Omni is known for its biotech breakthroughs and has remained years ahead of the pack in new developments and research. Now that they rely on As Technology to market their discoveries and advances, they are an even larger threat to Shiawase and other biotech corps. So there you go.
Interesting. So they're not as widespread as Shiawase would be, but would you say that they're like a better corporation?
Well, they specifically deal in gene tech and biotechnology. That's all they do.
Gotcha.
So they don't mess with anything else like heavy industry or any kind of other manufacturing or anything like that.
Right.
Like the rest of the big AAA megacorps do.
I gotcha. So they're they're more focused on just that being the thing
Yes.
that they do.
But it also helps to have a big AAA player backing you like As Technology.
Well, you know, that is generally a benefit. What interests could As Technology possibly have in body augmentation? That seems off
Oh,
brand.
oh yeah, definitely. Have no idea what they would be interested in. For anybody that is curious, Universal Omnitech is in fact headquartered in Vancouver in the Salish Sheed.
Ah, interesting.
Your second tier for biotechnology corporations, you have Cross Applied Technologies. Unfortunately, Cross no longer exists.
That's a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately. The primary focus that Cross had was modifications to the brain itself. They made significant leaps into cultured neuralware.
So specifically brain tech.
Yep. Proteus AG and Yamatetsu are the other two second tier to watch out for. And then rounding out the rest of them to watch out for, they put As Technology on the list, even though I feel like all of that is coming from Universal Omni, so I don't really count that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saderkrupp is the other one.
Oh, interesting.
Naturally, Saderkrupp is involved in almost everything The Corp's most advanced Bioware breakthroughs in recent years have involved Bioware for critters,
Oh,
including some successful
i-
implants involving awakened creatures.
interesting.
Frightening. Do you want to run into a hellhound that has muscle augmentation? A roided out hellhound?
What about some type of like skin or durability augmentation? Nova Possum.
Yikes. It's it's been augmented to have denser
Yeah,
bone
so
plate
it's
growth.
just sturdy as all get out.
Mm. There is one other group that we have to mention when we talk about BioWare, and this was a group that was actually part of SINless Season 2 that you guys had to deal with. The Taminus organization.
Taminus.
Taminus. Yes, Taminus. Taminus is an underworld.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's not entirely true. It's two things. It is considered a crime organization
Ah.
of organ harvesters, but is also a legitimate company.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a criminal syndicate that specializes in organ legging, but it also has a legitimate facing as well.
What is its legitimate business facing side by chance?
Uh, in the few countries where the infected are given legal citizenship, such as in Atslan and Azamando, Taminus operates as a legitimate enterprise which specializes in providing the infected with what they need.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely doesn't sound nefarious to me.
In Atslan, Taminus sells the infected food which has been made from medical waste, bodies which they've purchased, and donations. They are not permitted to pay to have people murdered for their parts, nor are they allowed to accept a body from the street of someone who was murdered.
I see.
Uh, Taminus owns a variety of legitimate businesses in these infected friendly countries, including hospitals and a winery.
Oh, fantastic. We have a vintage left hand on tap tonight. It's got an exquisite bouquet.
So, you know,
See, if that's what they're already getting into from their front facing company side though, couldn't they try to
uh,
earn themselves a little bit of better PR by
yeah.
becoming like the lead researchers for making some type of ghoul
Mm-hmm.
supplement out of wasted
Well,
bio waste in the first place?
that's that's technically what they are in Azamando.
I see.
That's what they're seen as. Every other country, though, has them on like the most wanted list.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. It is also obviously rumored that this organization is run by ghouls.
Huh.
Can't imagine
Weird.
why.
See, if everything in Shadowrun didn't have to have nefarious undertones in some way, this could be like one of the
Uh,
best humanitarian
mhm.
companies in the sixth world.
Yeah, because it's
They're,
repurposing medical waste.
and they're the only ones actively trying to service to the ghoul,
Mm-hmm.
community. As small as the sentient ghoul community is in the grand scheme of things, but still,
True. Hey,
but still,
they have their own country
they do. It's
that's
true.
still working on being recognized by the United Nations.
They're getting there.
Are they?
Ghouls rights.
Still working on it. Even into 2080, into 6th edition, still working on it.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Well, they have to have a hook for 7th edition, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Playable ghoul. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's talk what the BioWare implants you can get are. How about that?
What do you got for me?
We're going to start off small. You can get an adrenal pump.
Uh-huh. Like a adrenaline burster?
Yeah, it's a small muscular sac
Oh,
that's implanted in the lower abdominal cavity and connected to each of the two uh, adrenal glands.
right.
When dormant, the pump serves as a reservoir for adrenaline and noradrenaline. When activated, the sac contracts, sending a surge of concentrates into the bloodstream. Stress and other emotional states such as anger, fear, or lust will also activate the pump.
I see. Hey man,
Uh-huh.
on-demand adrenaline could be pretty useful.
Pretty useful. The actual combat effectiveness of the pump is variable, as the effects produced by hormones depend both on the amount secreted and the responsiveness of the tissue in question.
Huh.
Mhm. In game terms, the pump activates whenever the character suffers physical or stun damage.
Is it then like a damage negation thing, or is like what's the actual benefit of the activation from a gameplay standpoint, though?
So, from a gameplay standpoint, each level, because you can take levels of this,
Right.
each level of the pump increases quickness and strength.
Okay.
Oh, also to willpower and reaction for as long as the concentrates remain in the bloodstream.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there you go. The downside is the pump could be reactivated again before it's had time to refill. And then of course, suffering stress also has negative qualities that are applied. Yes.
Interesting. Well, that would be unfortunate to have a underwhelming burst of adrenaline.
Yeah, in fact, if the pump has suffered deadly stress, it will cease to function. It cannot be triggered accidentally or voluntarily. However, it does activate at random times. So it loses all
So,
functionality except for randomness. It randomly just activates.
oof.
Big oof.
Yeah, that would be unpleasant.
Well, it could be worse. With serious stress, every time the pump is activated, there's a slim chance that the character could suffer immediate cardiac arrest.
Roll for the heart attack table.
Well, actually, what happens is the heart attack causes deadly physical damage with no resistance.
Oh.
Yeah, when your heart fails, you can't just resist it with like damage mitigating stuff. It's like, oh, I've got high pain tolerance. Doesn't matter. It's a heart attack, bruh.
Don't worry, I have high pain tolerance. I just turned it into heartburn instead. It's just mild inflammation.
Mm-hmm. Mild inflammation.
Mm.
The adrenal pump comes in levels 1 and 2. So there you go. Don't know if I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
The random activating
Yeah, the risk reward on that one's pretty high.
through fear, anger, stress.
That sounds like it sounds like the side effects of one of those like when you see a commercial for some type of medication
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, you will have mildly less irritatingly dry skin. However, the side effects may include depression and suicide and heart attack and liver failure and kidney failure, diarrhea at the most inconvenient times. And it's like, but man, that skin irritation will be cleared up right away.
Exactly. I feel like that's what you get with a lot of the Bioware. It's like you get this, but it may cause these.
But always death is a potential side effect of Bioware, I feel like. Probably across the
Well, it
board.
depends on the Bioware. Well, the next Bioware piece that we're talking about is you can get cat's eyes.
Possible side effect of death.
The recipient of cat's eyes receives a new set of replacement eyes that are vat grown and specifically designed to incorporate a structure that amplifies light and enhances the user's night vision.
I see.
The number of light sensitive rods and detail enhancing cones in the eye also increase, like the eyes of a cat.
I see.
So,
So this is just a cosmetic augmentation,
well,
really, right?
it gives you low light vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives you low light vision like cyber eyes would, except
Except you look like a cat.
except they look like cat's eyes.
Except you look like the Nightman.
Yes, you look like the Nightman. Enemy of the Dayman.
Of course.
Who knows?
Who is in fact the champion of the
Yes,
sun.
yes, who is in fact the champion of the sun. But the Nightman does know karate.
It's very true. And he cometh. Whether you want him to or
He
not.
cometh. The Nightman, he cometh. Oh boy. The stress, if you take too much stress damage to your bio vat grown cat eyes,
Uh-huh.
with light stress, you have difficulty distinguishing between colors and become sensitive to bright lights. With moderate stress, that sensitivity increases. Bright flashes have more of an effect against your eyes. So Strobes and flashbangs would be awful.
Gotcha.
With serious stress to the cat eyes, the user would only see in shades of black and gray.
Ooh,
And then finally, with deadly stress to them, you are blind.
which would then cause you to inadvertently stumble into sixth world traffic and get hit by a bus. So,
Yeah. And unless you have the 9 lives augmentation, coming to a biomechanical shop near you.
yeah, they attach it directly to your heart. It's like a charge system. So you basically just get 8 charges of death before you'll actually die.
Charges. Now we're turning this more into like Repo Man.
That's what I've been waiting for.
I bet you
When
have.
you had told me that um only the body organ gang was the ones that had any type of like active possession for biotech and
Mhm.
like or like body parts and stuff in
Yeah,
general.
for organ legging. Yeah.
I was kind of expecting us to get into a Repo Man
This is
type of
situation.
situation.
Hmm.
Yeah, the fact that the sixth world doesn't have like an officially recognized Repo Man organization
Hmm.
is honestly the most surprising thing so far.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Now, in the corporate structure, that could be different.
True, because that's corpo property right there, buddy.
Yeah, it's corp property,
And
but
you're not leaving. you're,
you ain't getting out of here.
you ain't leaving the pain cube without it.
Um, have you ever wanted a chemical gland?
I don't know what that question means, so
It's the next piece of Bioware we're about to talk about.
uh-huh. What chemical are we talking about here?
So, a chemical gland is a sac lined with specialized and genetically tailored cells designed to produce a single naturally occurring compound. The compound is stored in the sac until used and can be deployed in one of 4 ways.
Okay,
To prevent accidental injury from the internalized chemical, the person is also partially immunized against it.
I see. I have I have thoughts on what two of the four ways could be,
Hmm.
and the fact that I can't think of another two that don't get graphic kind of scares me a little bit. I gotta be honest.
Well, examples of these natural compounds include arsenic,
Uh-huh.
venom,
Uh-huh.
toxins from insects and spiders,
Right.
ink,
Okay,
such
as you
as
do.
octopuses produce,
Right.
royal jelly,
Ooh, Lord of
uh,
the
a,
Bees.
a nutritious substance produced for queen bees,
Yep.
insulin, slime
Okay.
as excreted by snails, and some mild acids.
Interesting. Okay.
Your 4 ways of releasing your sacs.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That's a phrase.
that's how I'd phrase it.
Hmm.
That's how I'd phrase
Thank
it
you.
too.
Thank you. You can have an exhalation spray.
Okay.
This would be implanted in the nut and the neck above the larynx. The gland is equipped with sphincters. When triggered via a learned reflex,
Uh-huh.
the sphincters open and the compound is exhaled, much like an aerosol.
I see. I just want you to know that I hate literally everything about that last statement that you just told me. Um,
You're welcome.
cool. Okay. I mean, that's kind of what one of my assumptions would be because one of my assumptions was spit or some type of mouth-based projectile.
Hey,
So,
spit is the next option.
okay, okay, more concentrated than the aerosol, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Spit also, this would also mean that your chemical sacs are implanted in the neck. The gland collects the compound in a sphincter-equipped mucus reservoir sac. When contracted, the sac spits the compound, expelling it through the mouth. So you don't actually spit yourself, you
Uh-huh.
contract the sac gland and it
You sure
spits
do.
for you.
You
Mm-hmm.
sure. Somehow I hated
You
that
sure do.
statement even more than the previous statement. So I think it was the involvement of mucus took
Mm-hmm.
it to the next
Mm-hmm.
level. I
Oh, you didn't like the term mucus sac?
no, not mucus encoded sac controlled by a
Mm,
reflex induced sphincter. No, nothing about
hmm
that
hmm
statement is particularly appealing to me.
mm. Okay, number 3, internal release.
Uh-huh.
The gland can be designed to regularly release measured doses of the compound into the user's bloodstream, thus serving as a biological auto-injector. This version can be implanted almost anywhere within the body.
So would that be more like if you laced your blood with arsenic, then you could put your blood into things to make it poisonous type of deal?
No, I think this is something that's more supposed to be like if you wanted to release a specific maybe drug into your body,
Oh, so like it would be like a rage injector that's
I guess,
internally
or if you
fed.
wanted, remember one of the examples was insulin, so it could
Right.
help regulate that. Although,
Yeah, it would be like having a permanent insulin
hmm
shot regulator in
yes,
you instead of having to do it
correct.
yourself. I was gonna say on that note when I was when you had mentioned the four different ways, when I thought of spit, the first thing that immediately came to mind was somebody having like going into shock because they didn't have their insulin injected and somebody going, "Don't worry, I got it." And then just walking up to the guy and spitting directly into their mouth in order to give them their insulin injection.
Gross.
That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, that would have been hilarious to know when designing the Dock Wagon characters.
All right. Have you seen those people that drive around that have the bumper stickers that say that they carry, what is it? The stuff to help combat the opioid overdose? Naloxone or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
the narco. Yeah,
Yeah, here you go. The bumper
yeah,
sticker
yeah,
is
yeah.
now I spit.
I spit on drugs.
I spit on drugs.
Uh, yeah,
Oh boy.
naloxone, Naloxone,
Yes, that
yeah,
sounds correct.
naloxone.
Have you figured out what
Yeah.
the fourth one is yet?
Okay, I have a thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is it is it is it through skin secretion a la sweating?
It is not. No.
Dang it. I was so confident in that one.
That was been a good one, but it's not. Instead, the fourth one is weapon reservoir.
Oh, okay.
In this instance, the chemical gland would be implanted next to a cyber implant weapon. The gland would secrete the compound into a reservoir coating the weapon before use. So you have your Wolverine spurs. As they eject out, they are coated in, say, a poison.
Ah, gotcha. But that would only work for weapons that are internally implanted like that, right? It wouldn't be something. I mean, I guess if you really wanted, it could be something where you would have, like, say, if it was on your thigh, you just stab yourself in the leg to coat to coat a knife with it before use, but that seems impractical.
Yeah, that sounds impractical.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says implanted next to a cyber implant weapon. That does mean if you get a cyber gun dart implanted.
Uh-huh. Easy.
Yes.
Are you saying that this would also be applicable to the harpoon toe?
Yes, it would be applicable to the harpoon toe.
Oh, oh. Okay, I'm back in.
You could have a chemical gland implanted in your foot somewhere to coat your harpoon shot before you shoot it. There you go. All right. From all of those, where do you implant your squid ink from octopuses?
I mean, there's a right answer and a wrong answer to this question, I feel.
Please, please help me
I
with
think that
it.
a practical the actual practical one would probably be hand or wrist,
Uh-huh.
right? Because then you just be like ink shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The impractical one may have to do with not even the necessity of, say, a sphincter sac regulator on the sac itself, because
Mm-hmm.
that would already be provided.
So would you spit squid ink?
Oh no, I was talking about the other side. I was talking about the other opening easy.
Only applicable in water and or swimming pools.
Indeed, quite much so.
Very much so, yes.
Hey, Chummers, just taking a quick moment to say if you are enjoying what you hear, consider coming over to our Discord where you can hang out with us and other like minded Shadowrun enthusiasts. The link is in the description. While you're at it, check out our Patreon over at patreon.com/critical_hits. You get early access to episodes of SINless. You get to vote on upcoming art that you want to see in the shows. And you also get full access to Worm Talks, just to name a few things. It's only $5, and that gets you in and helps us keep the lights on and making the content that you enjoy. And now back to the show.
This next one, I'm not entirely sure why you would get it, but we're gonna talk about it and maybe we'll figure it out. Digestive expansion.
Okay.
And unfortunately, no, I don't think it's like domain expansion from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Sure, let's read it first. Okay. Digestive expansion involves a series of treatments that greatly expand the range of things a metahuman can safely digest. Oh, okay. The stomach lining is toughened and modified to produce more enzymes and acids to break down matter, and the pancreas and liver are enhanced to produce improved bile and enzymes that aid in digesting food in the small intestine. This result allows the user to safely consume a great variety of organic materials as food, including roots, grass, peat, and a number of plants that are normally considered inedible. The improved digestive tract also provides protection against toxic materials such as rhubarb leaves, smooth leptopia mushrooms, and so on. I'm sure you need to know this last part, but the treatment also modifies the taste buds and olfactory senses, making it easier for the user to quote unquote stomach the unusual foods.
Oh, good. We would hate for there to be an inconvenience to the
Eating of rhubarb leaves.
eating of things that normally should never be eaten.
For all of you that wanted to be a meta variant, I think they're meta variant orcs or trolls that are a minotaur and still stick to your bovine roots and be able to eat grass. There you go. That's what you need.
Yep. Live your truth.
Lean into it real hard. Who are we to deny you? So moving on.
Okay.
We have enhanced articulation. Enhanced articulation is a product of extensive procedures, including joint surface coating, relubrication of tendon and ligament augmentation designed for fluid, muscle, and joint action. Studies show that individuals with enhanced articulation might be immune to many arthritic conditions.
Finally, the
So long, carpal
finally the
tunnel.
biotech for the over 40 gamer.
Oh, come on, you're missing the clear application here of
Ah,
all your corporate wage slaves getting enhanced articulation
truth.
so they can sit at their keyboards for
Oh, the
endless
12-hour shift of the
hours.
corpo wave slaves.
Tack, 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 tack. Oh boy. Next, extended volume. An average adult's lungs contain approximately 2.5 liters of air. However, the actual tidal volume, the amount of air that enters and leaves the lungs with each breath, is only 0.5 liters. By augmenting the amount of flex in the diaphragm, it is possible to increase the tidal volume, thus increasing the efficiency of gas exchange and enhancing stamina. All of your major athletes are getting this procedure.
Yeah, that checks out.
And I don't care what sport you do, you're definitely getting it.
Yeah. No reason not to, honestly.
Yeah, no downside. I mean, aside from the stresses, if it gets too much stress,
Right.
you know, then
Right.
serious problems happen. Like serious stress could cause your diaphragm to tear,
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
causing a hernia. And then deadly stress could cause a partial lung collapse. Then that's not good.
No, that's also not good.
No, definitely not. But hey, if you wanted, extended volume comes in 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, uh-huh. Okay.
So you can hold more air. for when you needed that extra air.
Yeah,
How about
you can
go ahead.
you can catch your fourth breath with that
Your
one.
fourth breath? How about a metabolic arrestor?
Mm-hmm.
The metabolic arrestor is similar to the superthyroid. The metabolic arrestor is a regulating gland grown on top of the thyroid under conditions where the body seems to be suffering from massive trauma, as measured by a severe drop in blood pressure and the presence of high levels of endorphins. The metabolic arrestor supersedes the thyroid's metabolic functions, drastically decreasing the body's metabolic rate. As the heart and breathing rate slow to minimal levels and the body's temperature drops, the person takes on a death-like pallor. The lowered body functions help stave off the effects of trauma and lower nanite loss. So it puts you into a state of sort of suspended animation.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like it feels like it's kind of like a trauma stabilizer.
Yeah,
Like if
definitely.
something bad happens, then it's kicks in to try to regulate your functions
Yeah.
against whatever's happening.
Yeah, if you go into blood pressure dropout, so if you've taken a lot of gunshots and are bleeding out, it should kick in. That seems helpful, right?
Yeah.
There's muscle augmentation. That one is very clearly defined. It beefs you up without you having to use steroids. Basically, they do a biological weaving treatment
Mm-hmm.
where they weave special vat-grown muscle cables are braided into your existing muscle fibers. So you can, in fact, get swole without having to step into the gym.
Finally. All we've ever dreamed for.
All we've ever wanted. Now that's muscle augmentation, but there's also muscle toner. The muscle toner incorporates vat-grown elastic muscle fibers into existing muscle tissue, increasing muscle tension and flexibility. Users of this augmentation are quicker and more limber.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so don't get them confused. Muscle augmentation, you're going swole. Muscle toner, you're wanting to bend and be flexible.
Gotcha. Both, I would say, probably equally applicable for any professional athlete in the sixth world once again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, the muscle augmentation would have more of a benefit for your more physical sports like football or urban brawl.
Yeah.
Whereas muscle toner, making you quicker and more limber, would be for your like track and field,
Yeah,
or soccer.
I was also thinking like ballet as well.
That gymnastics.
Yeah, gymnastics.
You know, why not? Yeah.
Synchronized swimming.
Also, probably just competitive swimming.
Why not? Yeah, yeah, and diving too.
And diving, yeah. Man, the Sixth World Olympics would be very impressive. I'm probably going to say this wrong, but I'm going to try. Nephretic screen. It's an installation that goes in the kidney. Basically, your kidney is rebuilt to improve filtration and reclamation. You'll have finer discrimination in the removal of waste products and the reclamation of useful materials that creates a greater level of well-being.
Oh, finally, super kidneys.
Yeah, super kidneys. In game terms, if you're wondering, it basically would increase your body's resistance to toxins and pathogens.
That does also seem like a pretty good one.
Okay, this one also is a weird one. Nictitating membranes. This process stimulates the growth of clear protective membranes covering the eyes, similar to that possessed by many animals. This inner eyelid protects the eyes, keeping out sand, grit, smoke, and other irritants. It's basically giving you lizard protective coverings.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. The eye protection also eases underwater activities. The membranes are light sensitive and become tinted under bright light.
So if you shine a light on somebody's face, it's an easy way to see if they have the reptilian.
Are they
sickness.
lizard people? Use your flashlights.
You would think that being that close to the Earth's core, their eyes would have adapted to ultra powerful light.
You would think, but no. The next one is pretty popular for some Shadowrunners.
Oh.
Ortho skin. Orthoskin weaves an energy diffusing material just beneath the skin that provides the equivalent of personal armor.
See, this is the stuff that I would want to coat my Nova Possum in.
Yes, the way you do it though.
Uh-huh.
The individual's skin is peeled back section by section, and the body's dermal layer is fortified by grafts of synthogen,
Oh,
flextin, and flakes of modified and laced cartilage.
ew.
So you're basically kind of flayed alive piece by piece as these things are implanted just under your dermal layer.
Yeah, right.
Once transplanted, orthoskin grows like normal skin and is virtually indistinguishable from unaugmented skin. Orthoskin usually heals with little or no scarring. However, people with orthoskin lose some degree of sensitivity of touch because of the increased density of their dermis, which makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. Would you get orthoskin?
I mean, the procedure itself sounds
Horrifying?
unpleasant
Unpleasant.
and detrimental to a certain extent, you know?
Skin being peeled back section by section.
Yeah.
What I want to know is how big are these sections?
Does it matter?
I guess that's the question. That's question
At
number
that
one.
point, does it matter?
You know, I I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Ugh. You could get a platelet factory.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Obviously, platelets are cell fragments in the blood that play a vital role in clotting. Platelet factories increase the body's ability to handle damage by selectively accelerating the production of platelets within bone marrow. More platelets in the bloodstream help to lessen the trauma from large wounds as the bleeding quickly stops and clots. So, not exactly Wolverine healing, but pretty close to it.
Close enough. Close enough that we'll take it.
Close enough that if you get a massive wound, it will clot and start to heal fast.
I mean, that feels like it would work hand in hand well with the trauma preventative one that we talked about earlier.
That's true. Yeah. The metabolic arrestor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would. If I would I would imagine people that have one have the other.
Right.
You can also get a suprathyroid gland. It's much like the metabolic arrestor, that it is grown and then implanted on top of your existing thyroid. The suprathyroid gland supersedes the metabolic function of the thyroid, optimizing the breakdown of complex substances such as starches into sugars. It basically increases your metabolism. The altered metabolism produces more energy and effectively supercharges the recipient. With the higher levels of energy available, characters with the suprathyroid have a tendency towards hyperactivity. It also means if you're implanted with one that you have to eat twice as much food and drink twice as much as a normal person to fuel your higher metabolic rate.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. I mean, I feel like that would probably make it to where
very interesting.
the barrier to entry would be lowered for, say, sixth world competitive eating.
I would think so. The game effects are pretty nice for the suprathyroid. It might be worth having to eat twice as much.
That's true.
You get, in game terms, you get +1 to all of your physical attributes.
Oh, that is pretty nice.
That is very nice.
That is a pretty helpful one.
Yeah, it's just you are hyperactive and have to eat a lot more.
You just got to make sure that you get the large every time you go to Stuffer Shack instead of the medium.
You have to get the large. Maybe with an extra small fry.
Well, I mean, that I just assumed everybody did that.
Right? One of the last ones, well, almost to one of the last ones. There's still a few more. I think this is one of the more interesting ones that you can get. You can get symbiotes. Unfortunately, this will not turn you into the anti-hero Venom.
Curses!
Yeah. In this version, the symbiotes consist of a number of tailored microorganisms that are introduced into your bloodstream. They dramatically enhance your body's regenerative functions, reducing the host's natural healing time. To fuel this symbiote activity, you have to increase your food and drink consumption, though not as much as the suprathyroid gland, where you have to eat twice. You just have to slightly increase. With the symbiotes, you're more likely going from the medium to the large. Whereas with the suprathyroid, you're probably getting a large and a medium.
Gotcha. I see. Okay. Well, what are the benefits for this?
Well, you get the increased natural healing. So you heal faster. You're healing faster than the average person.
So do you think that this would be closer to a Wolverine level regeneration?
No, not necessarily, because it's not auto clotting for you.
I see.
Like the platelet factory would be.
This is more just the recovery after the fact.
Yes, this is lessening your recovery time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, if we had both with bone spurs that were also able to self-coat themselves in arsenic when deployed, now we're talking. Okay.
The symbiotes also come in one of 3 levels. You can buy levels 1, 2, or 3, and each the levels give you a different percentage of normal healing time. At level 1, you still have to go through 90% of the normal healing time. It cuts 10% off, right? With level 2, it cuts it down to 70%.
Okay.
And then finally at level 3, you heal in half the time that it takes the average person.
Nice. Okay.
So you really want that level 3.
I get the feeling that level 3 is probably one of them, their Corpo sponsored augmentations.
Right.
Again, it comes with your anti-carpal tunnel implants, because
oh yeah, there you go.
You only need half as many sick days now, right?
Oh yeah. Oh god. I'm disliking some of this Bioware now.
We're here to look at the shady undertones of the sixth world, Easy. We can't escape them.
Oh my god. We're making the corporate hellscape is what we're doing.
Enjoy your rough outlines of the ultimate corporate drone. DMs out there listening to these episodes.
Building the ultimate corporate drone. Oh boy. The next piece of Bioware that we're on to is the Synthocardium. The Synthocardium consists of artificially enhanced microcardium, the heart's muscle tissue. When added to the heart, it enables the organ to perform at higher levels. You're basically enhancing your natural heart. In game terms, it adds an extra level to all of your athletics tests, so it makes them slightly easier.
So again, something that would probably be stock standard for anybody drafted to a sixth world major league sport.
Yes. You also have to think that some of your sixth world special forces would probably have some of these stuff.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Would seem like it would probably be a pretty beneficial Shadowrunner augment to take as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. The next one we're going to talk about is everybody's favorite, especially if you're playing a face character. Good old tailored pheromones.
This is a fun one.
Yes, pheromones are the chemical signals emitted by animals. These pheromones can subconsciously alter other animals' behavior. Pheromones are usually used as present scents to establish a zone of dominance or attract members of the opposite sex. By altering an individual's sweat glands, specifically designed pheromones, and it is hyphened, by the way, pheromones.
Oh, I bet it is.
May be released, dispersing into the area and subtly influencing others. These tailored pheromones are full spectrum, boosting all pheromone scents, not just sex-oriented ones.
Yeah, because like you said, it's something that would normally be taken by, say, a face to make it to where people are more agreeable with you. And
right, or find
less
you more attractive, less threatening. Yeah, you're the guy. You're the dude. Pheromone augmentation continues to function even if the person is in the presence of another person with tailored pheromones.
The C-suite standoff. I feel like people that have tailored pheromones should also be mandated that they have to have the cat eye implants as well. Yeah.
It's just a mandate.
They're just walking around the office rubbing up against every cubicle.
Jeez. You will be happy to know that the tailored pheromones are designed to affect all metatypes equally. So no one gets special treatment over the other with tailored pheromones.
Interesting. Uh, it it makes sense, but I do find
Ah,
it kind of interesting because I've always associated, and this comes from my background being as a D&D player over a Shadowrun player as my basis, that you
mm-hmm,
would think that certain races, like say
mm-hmm.
elves, would have some type of natural resistance to charm or things of that nature.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's just because you're coming from the D&D background where they have always naturally been more
yeah,
resistant to enchantments
right,
or mind altering
right.
effects or the sleep spell. Yes, I know my D&D lingo as well. But no, everybody's on the same playing field in the sixth world. Just because
Everyone
you're
gets doused equally.
Yeah, everyone gets doused in pheromones equally. However, remember, that's just the basic. You can get cultured tailored pheromones.
Oh, uh-huh.
They are considered exceptionally powerful.
Uh-huh. They have a top hat. That's how cultured they are.
A top hat and a beard with a cane.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh,
Monocle is an optional.
Monocle is optional. The cultured pheromones, being exceptionally powerful, double the normally acquired benefits.
Ooh, nice.
It also extends the range of your tailored pheromones by an additional 50%. So, uh,
So if you ever wanted to be a cult leader in the sixth world, get those cultured pheromones.
if you're wondering, wow, um, regular tailored pheromones extend from the source in a circle approximately 15 meters in diameter, which is about 50 feet.
See, knowing this and knowing that Loki had this upgrade in season one is not helping us beat the accusations that Asgard was in fact a cult all along. I know.
Could you imagine if you would have got the cultured ones and it would have the 50% upgrade? So another 25 feet on top. So 75 feet,
75-foot sphere of influence.
75-foot sphere of influence. Yes,
Jeez.
that is correct. Oh my. See, I was ready to give you the freedom units right away.
I appreciate it this time. The
You're
conversion
welcome.
table is up and open.
Up and open, ready to go. Oh boy. So after everybody's favorite, that is tailored pheromones, you have the toxin extractor. The metahuman liver is the body's main organ for uh, breaking down complex substances. As such, it is the first line of defense against potentially toxic compounds and drugs. The toxin extractor is a specially cultivated cluster of cells implanted into the liver to greatly improve the efficacy and to expand the spectrum of catabolic activity.
Gotcha.
So it helps you break down toxins
It's
better.
resist poison.
Yeah, basically, it's resist poison. You are correct.
See, with the name like that, before you explained it though, I was imagining that it was like a little pump
Mm-hmm.
that they would attach to like your liver or kidney,
Yeah.
and that way when it goes through the process, it would just like filter everything out into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was imagining that you would have like a little chute on the side of your stomach, and when it got full, it would just eject like a cartridge of poison.
There you go. That would be interesting. This next one, I think damn near everyone would get
Uh-huh.
a tracheal filter.
Hmm. Okay.
And it is probably exactly what you think it is. When this is installed, traps and filters are implanted at the top of the trachea, just below the larynx. This cluster of specialized tissue absorbs airborne impurities and keeps them from reaching the lungs.
Ah.
Smoke, pollen, and dust are easily blocked and expelled with an outgoing breath.
Yeah, that is pretty sick.
And then gaseous compounds are rendered inert or less effective through the various chemical reactions performed by the filters. So,
Yeah.
tear gas, just yawn in it. Like your eyes will probably still water, but you won't be choking or coughing.
That is pretty good.
But I would get it. I would get it specifically
Oh,
for cutting down on
absolutely.
allergens.
I was I was also
Oh
thinking,
my
just in
god.
general, you would think that this is probably something that would be widely used in any by any person that lives in a metroplex, just due to the amount of natural pollution that
Oh
would be
yeah.
in the air from that.
Well, most people, I mean, if you can't afford this, because
Right.
tracheal filters at cost, right?
Uh-huh.
Is base cost 60,000 new yen.
Yeah, you save up for them a couple of years. You are the ultimate slave wage after all.
This is true. This is true. Oh, by the way, for your tailored pheromones, do you want to guess how much those cost?
Oh man.
And they
Stand
come in levels 1 and 2, and
Uh-huh.
this would just be standard, not the cultured.
Gotcha. Level 1, I'm gonna guess. This seems like the type of thing that I would have to imagine would be a higher barrier to entry. So I would say
Hmm.
probably like 100,000 for level 1 and maybe 150 for level 2 or 200 for level 2.
No, actually. So your level 1 tailored pheromones are only going to cost you 20,000.
Really?
Yeah,
That seems very low for how useful they are.
right? 20,000 base cost. And then 45,000 for level 2.
Okay.
Now, if
Just
you want the
uh-huh.
cultured versions,
Yeah.
uh cultured version level 1, 80,000.
Okay.
Cultured level 2, 180,000.
Jeez.
And that's just base price. That's not including street index or anything like that.
Does the cultured level 2 give you the bonus to the ranging for it as well? So would that go up to like 100 feet at that point?
I believe so.
Every politician in the sixth world has
Every single one of them.
has cultured level 2 pheromones.
They can afford it. Why not?
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
definitely. So those are all the basic Biowares that you can get. There are specific ones that are cultured, that are that you can only get cultured.
Okay.
And these will be them. The cerebral booster.
Uh-huh.
Enhancing the brain via cerebral booster requires that nerve tissue be added along with convolutions and gyri, the ridges and furrows, into the frontal lobes of the cerebellum.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The extra cells increase surface area, improve brain function. Uh-huh. So basically, you can increase your intelligence by getting a cultured brain augmentation.
Okay.
There's also damage compensators. Compensators are implanted ribbons of transmissive nerve fiber that bypass the safety inhibitors.
Huh.
They
Interesting.
allow the host to act while suffering from physical or mental trauma. Compensators do not block the actual damage, only the neurological and physiological effects of shock and fatigue on the body. So you could be taking horrendous, deadly damage. Part of your arm is sloughing off from acid, but with damage compensators, you
I mean,
won't
that
feel a
sounds like one of
thing.
those, like, if you don't have feeling in your hand and then you put it on a stove and you don't know that the stove is on type situations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like you'd be like one of those people that have that rare genetic disorder where they can't feel
Yeah.
pain. Yeah, that would be weird. I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would want that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
I don't
can
know
see
if I
the
would want that
benefits
one.
being a Shadowrunner, sure,
Yeah.
with the dangerous things that you run into, but everyday life, I don't think so. How about a mnemonic enhancer? By attaching a highly concentrated growth of gray matter to the brain. So you're attaching more brain to your brain.
Big brain time.
Big brain. The mnemonic enhancer can increase the capacity for both short and long-term memory. The person with this enhancement is less likely to forget events or information. Would you like to give yourself what do they call it? Not photographic.
Like the recollective.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes,
Perfect
I
memory.
forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you have to do is grow a brain to be implanted on your brain.
Yeah. We put this brain in the jar on top of the brain that you already have, and then you have the super brain.
Yeah, most people would call it brainception.
Indeed.
It's a brain in a brain. Oh boy. Does it come in levels? It does. How about that? How large of an extra brain do you want? Then do you have to get a cyber skull to encase your enlarged brain?
I want my Cyberrunner to look like Megamind. So, however much that requires, that's the end goal.
Well, there you go. That's how you do it right there.
Yep.
This is the perfect way.
Uh-huh.
So we talked about damage compensators. How about a pain editor? A pain editor is a cluster of specialized nervous tissue designed to filter sensory stimuli. Activation and deactivation of the editor is a learned reflex. When the editor is voluntarily triggered, the individual is no longer subject to pain sensations, including feedback pain.
See, up until we get to the ability for knocking out feedback, I get the benefit of it, but just the potential of that being triggered or
Uh-huh.
going into effect outside of direct desire is not great.
Very true. Oh, this is a fun game effect, though. This could be fun. When a pain editor is activated, the player can no longer receive pain. As a result, the player should not be told how much damage has been inflicted upon their character. The game master should keep secret track of it.
That's pretty good, actually.
Right? I activate my pain editor. All right, let's go a few rounds. Okay, your character falls over dead. What? How? Damage.
All right, top of the turn order, and you're dead.
And we start off with you dead. Yeah, the character is unaware of bullet wounds, knife stabs, and so on, unless they can perceive them in other ways. So unless you see yourself getting shot or stabbed, you may not know that you've been shot or stabbed.
You probably won't, yeah.
You most likely will not. So what happens when you use a damage compensator with a pain editor?
You don't feel.
You just
Yeah.
roll through life like I am the void.
You assume the best is happening because you have no idea.
Unless you can physically see it. So if somebody stabs you in the back, you'd be walking around with a knife in your back.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. It makes me think of the scene in Sin City when the dude gets shot with the arrow and he's like, "Oh, look at that. I got an arrow sticking out of me. Right through me."
Through me.
Exactly.
So true. Oh, there's a note on it. How would you like a reflex recorder?
Okay.
With this enhancement, extra neural material is grown in small clusters around the 31 pairs of spinal nerves. These clusters allow memorization of certain learned motor reflexes.
Would this be our spider sense?
In game effects, each recorder allows a character to retain reflexes related to a particular combat or physical skill. So you would increase by 1 die for all uses of that skill. So you're a boxer, right?
Yeah.
You box so much that some of it becomes memorized motor function in these nerve clusters. So you get an additional die when doing the boxing skill.
Right, yeah.
Because it's now just
second nature.
Muscle memory.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Barring extreme circumstance such as surgical reprogramming, the reflex skill once learned cannot be changed. So once you learn the skill, you can't replace it with another one.
Right, yeah. The muscle only memories once.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that could be useful depending on job or what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a general sense, it would always be useful for things like dodging, or
Oh
like
yeah, that'd be good.
just general reactionary or anything reflex tied for that would be pretty solid.
How about a sleep regulator?
Oh, finally,
This
a
sounds like
built-in sleep apnea machine.
this one sounds like
Oh,
it's going to be another added on to our wage slave of the corporate world.
oh no.
This treatment modifies the homeoplasmus region of the brain, which regulates body rhythms and numerous hormone producing glands. These
Uh-huh.
changes in body brain chemistry allow for longer periods of wakefulness.
Great.
The overall effect is that the recipient requires less sleep per day, and the sleep he gets tends to be deeper and more restful, with higher dream activity. This Bioware is popular with professionals who have high stress jobs and deadlines. So there you go.
Yeah,
Anyone with
yeah. Our journey to the ultimate wage slave
anyone with this
continues.
modification requires only 3 to 4 hours of sleep each night and can deprive themselves of sleep for up to 48 hours. The ultimate wage slave is being born. It's crammed some Bioware in there.
We started with making Robocop, and look where we are now. Look where that's gotten us easy.
Building the ultimate wage slave. Oh, it makes it so easy.
It is.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this might be another one. Maybe a synaptic accelerator. With the implantation of a synaptic accelerator, the neural cells which make up the spinal cord and other main nerve trunks are encouraged to replicate and lengthen. This provides a wider, quote, data path for the transmission of impulses and decreases the amount of time required for the signal to traverse the distance. Thus, more, quote, data can be sent from and received by the brain in a shorter period of time. They're putting expressways in your nerve systems.
Thus, you can type faster on your keyboard in order to make sure that your TPA forms are filled out in a more efficient manner.
Yes, it's happening.
No, it's happening.
The synaptic accelerator comes in 2 levels, level 1 and level 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't think it'd be cost effective to put it in your wage slave though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, level 1 is 75,000.
Oh,
and level 2 is 200,000.
yeesh.
So yeah, and remember these have to be cultured. So that's one of the reasons
Right.
for the high price.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah, that's one of those C-suite augments once again, as previously mentioned.
Right. Again, just like this, the sleep regulator technically has to be cultured, but I feel like it's more cost effective to put into. Oh yeah, it is. It's only 20,000. So.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, no problems.
Yeah.
Oh hey,
that's part of your welcome package.
Hey, it's also technically legal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need any kind of special permit or anything. Just go in and get the procedure done at your local corporate hab block, where they mandate it as necessary so that you only ever have to sleep 4 hours every 36.
As the corporate overlords dictate.
Yeah, if you got most of your work population to get a sleep regulator implanted, you could work them a 36-hour workday or workday and have them sleep for the required 4 hours. Since we're building the ultimate dystopian wage slave landscape here, it sounds awful.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, well, you shouldn't. It's terrible. Well, moving along. How about a thermosense organ?
Okay.
It's derived from the heat sensing organs found in pit vipers. These gene-engineered thermosense organs are grafted onto the sides of the head, just behind and below the ears. A cluster of specialized nervous tissue is also added to the sensory cortex of the brain, which interprets the signals of the thermosense organs. The recipient can detect the presence of other life forms near them by their heat signatures.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, you have heat sense based
So it's
perception.
detective vision.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's kind of cool.
See, now that you're learning about some of this Bioware stuff, is it making you rethink some of your characters?
I mean, it's given me some interesting ideas for other ones.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff.
Well, it keeps going. We've got a trauma dampener. As if your pain editor and damage compensator wasn't enough. How about a trauma damper?
I mean, that's the trifecta right there, right?
I guess. This damper is a clump of specialized receptors implanted at the base of the thalamus near the midbrain. Upon receiving sensory information indicating fatigue, pain, or physical trauma, the damper triggers the release of concentrated endorphins, naturally produced opiates, and painkillers. These substances do not aid in repairing the trauma, but they may keep the user alive and conscious long enough for them to receive medical aid.
It's just a built-in Vicodin bottle.
Yeah, in your brain.
Yeah. I see no way that could ever be negative.
I only hurt myself to receive the endorphins.
Just punch a wall. Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh yeah. There is some cosmetic Bioware, just like there's some cosmetic cyberware, right?
Uh-huh.
These things include. Are you ready for this first one?
Uh-huh.
Chloroplast skin. Yeah. This treatment introduces chloroplasts into the recipient's skin cells that turn the skin green. Chloroplasts engage in photosynthesis, a chemical reaction in which sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide help create glucose and proteins. This process creates enough food for the recipient to sustain themselves for short periods, though a supplementary diet with essential vitamins and nutrients is also necessary. So if you wanted plant skin that would sustain you from the rays of the sun, you can do it.
Right. Yeah. Huh. I mean, is there any like beneficial conversion you get out of that at all or anything?
Other than green skin, and you can stave off hunger for a little bit longer than the average person?
Uh-huh. Okay. I thought maybe you would be like getting extra energy from your plant skin solar absorption or something, but no? Okay. All right.
But it gets you green skin.
But hey, green skin.
Mm-hmm. You cannot have chloroplast skin and ortho skin.
Oh, no indestructible plant skin.
No indestructible plant skin. Can't have it. Sorry. You can get clean metabolism.
Uh-huh.
With a series of alterations to the recipient's exocrine glands, liver, and pancreas, the addition of tailored bacteria to the intestines, this Bioware more efficiently digests food and drink. The main effect, however, is that most of the more embarrassing and unpleasant effects of the digestive system are eliminated. If you fart a lot, this is for you. Users that get this done rarely develop body odor, belch, or pass gas. Even the person's sweat and bodily waste are sanitized. This treatment is popular among high society players and trendy types who wish to avoid social faux pas.
I see.
Yes.
I think that this would then classify it as probably the potential for one of them their C-suite add-ons.
C-suite.
The ultimate corporate overlord.
You will not pass gas. You will not belch.
You will not.
You will not sweat and smell horrible while you're working your 36-hour work week. Or work day. I'm sorry, 36-hour work day. You can't have clean metabolism and digestive expansion.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think so, right? Keeping up with this whole fad, next is dietware. This is for those image-conscious people who don't want to worry about gaining weight or losing their figure. It consists of a series of gastrointestinal tract modifications that limit the amount of food that is digested in proportion to the user's metabolic rate. It ensures that no excess carbohydrates and proteins are created and converted into fat. In essence, the recipient won't pick up any extra pounds no matter how much they eat.
That is pretty
Yeah.
That is pretty tempting.
Only costs 10,000 yen.
I mean, that's not even that bad.
Just save up for that one. Never have to worry about gaining fat.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no. Oh, here we go. This one's for me. Hair growth.
Oh.
Hair and fur can be grown in excess or in unusual spots by treating the dermis skin layer to nurture hair follicles.
And it's natural too. It's not even sixth world plugs.
Right? The texture, color, and thickness of the hair can be chosen in advance, allowing for a wide range of options. From a long green mane to a nice coat of leg fur so that the user can wear shorts in the winter.
Ooh, the insulation growth. I didn't even consider that.
Right? Oh, here you go. Whiskers are a current favorite among the club scene.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
The cat eyes are back again.
Each treatment covers a region of skin approximately the size of the human head. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you know what?
You know
what?
They had the template to base it off of, and then they just said, "But what if we put it anywhere else?"
Right. So I'm gonna go out and say it.
Uh-huh.
All those fursonas that are out there, you can live your best life.
You sure can. You sure can.
You sure can.
And on top of that, you could also get a stabilizer tail.
Yes, you could. But that's going to be cyberware.
Right. But I'm just saying, if we're going full, and we talked about there's cosmetic ears as well, right?
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Live your
what
truth.
though?
Live your
you
truth.
know what? All I'm saying is that you get the hair growth treatment, right? And you get the kid stealth legs. And you really lean into metahuman cockfighting.
It's very true.
That's all I'm saying is that it's there. It's right there in the rules. Come on, people.
It's there for free.
Oh boy. Here we go. You can get scent glands
to accompany your pheromone glands.
Simple changes to your exocrine sweat glands can be made, changing the scent that is exuded to almost anything imaginable. The recipient must choose the scent in advance from a wide range offered on the market, including designer perfumes. This Bioware can also change the way sweat tastes, making intimate occasions more interesting. Shadowrun After Dark, everybody. Shadowrun After Dark.
Yeah, so what's the next one?
The next one is sensitive skin.
Oh no, it's getting worse.
It is. It only gets worse. The number of nerve receptors in the skin's dermis layer can be increased with this process, slightly heightening the recipient's sensitivity to heat, cold, pressure, and pain.
Yeah.
The actual sensitivity change is minimal. It's not enough to cause increased damage, but it provides just the right tactile difference to satisfy pleasure-seeking hedonists.
Checks out.
Checks that box. Checks that big box. Should we keep going?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're already here.
Skin pigmentation and bio tattoos.
Okay.
By altering the amount of melanin in the skin and by introducing other natural pigments, metahuman skin can be altered to take on a wide range of colors, from pitch black to bright red to bone white. The entire body can be colored or just selected areas. The art of bio-tattooing is gaining popularity, especially with folks who want specific designs colored into their skin. Pigmentation applied in this way doesn't fade over time, though bio tattoos can be designed so that they change slightly over long periods.
I mean, we're really just leaning into the full persona realization here.
This is very true. Just in case you wanted to know, skin pigmentation only costs you 5,000 to get.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
How about that? Super affordable. Oh, along with that, the same skin pigmentation and bio tattoos, the iris of the eye can also be altered in this manner.
There you go.
Though this option is not compatible with cyber eyes. So
Well,
you can get your irises
mean,
colored any color you want. But if you
would
have cyber eyes, you could do the same thing just by
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have cyber eyes, can't you just get cyber eyes in whatever color you'd want anyway? So
yeah. Technically with cyber eyes, you'd be able to just change the color whenever you want. You just have to program them.
that's also true.
Yeah.
Get that RGB rotator on those eyes.
There you go. Though with the skin pigmentation and bio tattoos, I guess you could change your irises whenever you wanted. You just have to pay for it each time. That's expensive.
Yeah, that adds up.
But I could see like high society types being like, "Oh, my eyes are winter ice blue for the season."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they change their iris colors based off the season or whatever fad is going on. This gives me a whole different view and idea of the way high society works in the sixth world.
Oh yeah, it's all just
like I didn't
cosmetic augmentationing as much as you could possibly get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine watching trash reality TV in the sixth world? It's like, oh god, I think I've got to go get my fur done.
I was thinking more of when you get into like the like My Strange Obsession and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, not even just like the reality competition TV. Like we're talking like
yeah. Oh boy. Ooh boy. So while we were talking about the limits of Bioware and everything, right? If you have no cyberware and you just wanted to go full
right
bio augmentation, right?
Okay.
You cannot exceed a bio index of 9.
Gotcha.
Your body just runs out of space.
So
cannot take any more grafting. Yeah, if they exceed 9, the body goes into shock and they die.
So what would like a normal like tier 2 augmentation value be?
What do you mean? Like like how much Bioware could you put into somebody?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, let's see what we got. All right. None of this matters. It's all made up. Let's do it. Okay. Your average human here.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Augmentations, Bioware. Here we go. 9. Do you want to do standard and cultured? Just cram it in there. No rules. Hey, we can make our wage slave.
The sleep regulator.
Obviously, enhanced articulation goes on there. What else? That's in cultured. Yep, sleep regulator. Got it.
What was
okay? What else?
There was that one, and then what was also the we were talking about the restorative healing,
the synaptic and accelerator, right?
That reduces your natural healing time by 50%. The at the highest tier, so that way they get less sick days.
Oh,
yeah.
Less sick days. What was that one? That was the symbiotes at level 3, right? Symbiotes level 3. Got it. Okay.
Those
what
were
else do you want to? Those were the 3.
I thought we had 4.
Enhanced articulation, sleep regulator, symbiosis. Oh, and the synaptic accelerator, right?
Yeah, synaptic accelerator.
Okay, synaptic accelerator. Level 2. We'll give him the big one.
There we go.
Okay, boom. We can put a whole lot more. We're only at a bio index of 2.9 out of 9.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah. And this is all standard.
Yeah. So you can cram a lot of Bioware in someone.
Yes, you can.
Huh.
Yes, you can. Yeah, like the bio indexes are low.
That's kind of cool though.
Like we could oh, you know what? To help them even more, let's make them a plant person. They also
Right.
have chloroplast skin.
Uh-huh.
And the do we give them the clean metabolism as well? So no unpleasant gases.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Don't want to disturb their coworkers.
No, we don't. We absolutely do not want to disturb their coworkers. Anything else you could think of that are wage slave needs in Bioware?
No, nothing off the top of my head. Those are kind of the main
Okay,
ones.
so out of all of that,
Uh-huh.
right, we're sitting at a 3.3 out of 9.
Dang.
Yeah, that'd be real easy to put all in there.
Look at that. Megacorps for the low cost of a 3.3 out of 9, you too
Well,
could
I mean,
have the ultimate employee.
It would basically be really expensive. We're talking.
Oh yeah. But think about how much money you would make
Oh
back
yeah,
on
because
on
you
return.
have someone that can just work for the long hours and not have to worry about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, boom. Take that, corporate wage slave. Haha.
Yep. You got him.
You did it. You did it. But what else were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, a little bit of the compatibility issues and things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you get any of the cosmetic eye replacements, like the membranes or the cat's eyes, you can't have cyber eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a duh moment, right?
Yeah, that checks out.
Exactly. If you get the adrenal pump, you cannot have move by wire systems, as the combination would produce violent and uncontrollable responses that are out of proportion to the stimuli and the body's natural reflexes. You would just shake uncontrollably.
Yeah, that sounds not pleasant.
For your cosmetic bioware, the chloroplast sensitive skin and skin pigmentation are not compatible with dermal plating or dermal sheathing.
Yeah, again, can't have. Well, I mean, I guess
you can't look like Colossus and have your skin be a different color because it's been replaced by metal plates.
OC, don't steal.
Boy.
Yeah, you can only have one layer of fake skin at a time, so make your choice.
Right. For enhanced articulation, any bonuses that you would receive from having enhanced articulation are lost if more than 2 of the character's limbs are partially or wholly replaced by cyber limbs. Sorry, you lose your carpal tunnel resistance if 2 of your limbs are replaced by cyberware.
I mean, if you have cybernetic arms or hands at that point, do you even need to worry about carpal tunnel?
I don't think you do.
No, at that point, you just spray a little WD-40 on it and get back to work.
And you're good to go. Yeah, you go back to work. Obviously, the reflex booster does not work in conjunction. Oh, this is good to know. The reflex booster does not work in conjunction with adept powers or spells that would boost reaction.
Okay.
So if you had a spell cast on you, nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Because you already have the reflex booster. Good to know. With the thermosense, how that interacts with illusion spells. Since thermosense is not vision based, any illusion spells that target vision do not affect this sense. A character that is cloaked by invisibility will be just as detectable as someone who is not.
So
there you go. The Pit Viper thermosense that you can get grafted onto you.
You can't
help
hide
you see people that have invisibility cast
from thermographic vision.
Yeah. Unless you're a critter, the critter power of concealment hinders thermosense, doesn't negate it, but it makes them harder to detect.
Got to regulate that body temperature.
Basically, it would be like the predator is tracking you and you're Arnold who has slathered yourself in mud.
I was just going to say, so does that mean that if somebody has this augment that I just need to cover myself in mud and I'll be fine?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. You've beat it. Congratulations. Interestingly enough, critters cope considerably better with Bioware than they do with cyberware. Though corporations are rarely willing to conduct the research and design animal equivalent bioware, given the cost, critters are subject to the same bioware restrictions and drawbacks as regular characters would be, regular individuals.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be more compatible because there's less that has to go into it. At that point, you're just making sure that everything matches up and it just takes to it. You don't have to be like, well, we have these tiny rabbit-sized robot legs now, but unfortunately, they're not grafting correctly.
Right. Awakened critters also find their magical powers restricted by BioWare, same as awakened.
Makes sense.
The awakened
people. Same type of drawback.
Yeah. But still, I feel like that's a decent enough drawback if you are bio-roiding out like a hellhound.
Right.
Oh no, it can't breathe fire as well. It can still breathe fire, but now it can also punch open a door.
Yeah. Yeah, the vast majority of enchanted critters would definitely just be benefited by it.
And it's not like a lot of their powers would be hindered anyway, so.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of the critters are doing, like, necessarily casting magic, per se. It's like an innate ability. So it would just be slightly hindered, depending on how much BioWare has been crammed into them. If you do excessively implant yourself, you are making yourself easier to die. Because remember, you have the lessened immunity.
Right.
And your body is constantly having to fight like immunosuppressant itself. So
yeah, and on top of that, a lot of the augmentations are just naturally more strenuous against the natural body for the benefits that you're getting out of them in the first place. So being able to have a larger lung capacity is nice, but you have to take into consideration how that greater of an increase of oxygenation to your body is going to affect things like your brain and your heart and the rest of your circulatory system, for that matter.
Yes, very true.
So that makes sense that would be just an innate drawback of this. Is it's just like you're a superhuman, but you're also considerably more likely to die from the flu.
Yes, you are entirely correct about that.
The pheromones were worth it.
Were they?
Those will be Loki's last words.
Was the chloroplast skin worth it? Only time will tell. So I think that rounds it out for BioWare finally. After we got into the lovely cosmetic portion of the BioWare is definitely where things started to get spicy, I want to say. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, that's not. Remember, we're working it into every episode somehow. It got slippery.
It got real slippery.
It got real slippery.
Custom augmented secretion flavor gets things real slippery.
Oh my god. The implications, okay? The sheer implications.
They're exactly what you think they are, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh god. If you went to a shady street dock, okay? Follow me down this road.
Right.
If you went to a shady street dock and got that, and they were able to do the secretion cosmetic bio fix on you, right? Could you then secrete some form of like ecstasy from your sweat glands?
That's an interesting question because,
right?
Although the general note on it is more of a flavor based, does that not mean that it could also be compound based at that point?
That's true. That's what I was thinking, especially for like liquid compounds.
Well, at that point, easy. Why not just go the whole 9 yards and get the secretion sac implemented in your throat, and then you can just spit ecstasy into people's mouths?
You know what? Why aren't you going the full gambit and getting the secretion sacs to spit ecstasy into their mouths and secrete it at the same time? you would be the center of attention at the rave.
Yeah, you just walk into the middle of the rave and just hold your arms out.
Everybody lick me.
Uh, you walk into the rave wearing 6 layers, and those are quickly shed. You just got to get that core temp up.
You gotta get your core temp up. No, all you gotta do is get the people around you. You
That's
get all the
true.
body heat, and you start sweating profusely, and then you just hold your arms up,
And then you're the human toad.
and then you are the hypnotoad. Oh man, we could go down some really vile, disgusting roads with this.
Oh, I mean, as soon as secretion is brought into the equation, I mean, you're immediately you're already immediately on that road. But as previously stated, Easy, the implications.
The implications.
Please feel free to utilize as you see fit.
Please use your active imaginations that I know that you have, listeners, and just travel down this road of flavored secretions. And that's all we need to say. We don't have to be specific about it or anything. We'll just let your minds go and wonder. Do you think General Mills would have their hands involved in this technology?
Oh,
maybe even Nabisco.
Just a little Nesquik on the go, man. Whenever you need it, just
yes. Nestle's Crunch.
Boy. Oh boy.
Oh wow. Okay, I need to stop right now. Once again, we have probably gone a little too far. So
knowing them though, they'd find a way to make it a pill form, so it doesn't have to be permanent.
No, there you go. That's true. Yeah, just take this.
You could take you could get a little sampler snack pack at the gas station.
Sampler snack pack for when you're on the go.
Tonight's feeling like a Snickers night.
Oh my god! You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. I'm sorry, but I'm doing it. Don't worry, guys. I am the snack at the orgy.
Oh man, the snack pack would be real popular in that type of setting.
Oh yeah, definitely would. Definitely.
They would have a dispenser at the Slippery for that.
Oh, there's definitely a dispenser at the Slippery. You know what? There's also probably some very specific rooms at the Slippery to cater to specific flavors.
Is tonight a savory or sweet?
Just cover your bases. It's
just a forked hallway, and you just which way are we going?
Well, you know what? There's savory, there's sweet, and there's also sour. I had once again had to go there.
Ugh.
Okay, stopping. We're stopping right here. We're stopping because we can't keep going, even though we 100% could. We're having too much fun. Everybody, use your imaginations. Don't come and tell us about it, though, please.
Yeah, write that one down in the journal.
Yeah, just keep that one to yourself or share it with your gaming group if they're okay with that kind of thing. You know your own flavors.
Sure do. They come in a snack pack. They come in a snack pack.
Damn it! You know what? I forgot another big player here.
Fucking
Baskin Robbins.
Oh, 31 minimum, dude.
Baby.
Give sweet cream a new meaning. All right, Easy, was there?
God damn it.
Okay. Anything else about Bioware you wanted to talk about?
No. I don't want to talk about Bioware anymore. I'm done. I can't. Everybody, thank you for listening and coming down this road with us while we lose our collective minds. I super appreciate it. I hope you guys have been enjoying this travel into Shadowrun After Dark, because that's definitely where this was going.
As it always inevitably turns.
As it always inevitably turns into. Oh my God. I honestly, again, feel really bad that Karma couldn't be a party to this. I can only imagine what he would have come up with. Just for him, real quick, just for him, I feel like there definitely would be a Taco Bell Diablo sauce in there. Since we're going spicy, we're going real spicy.
That's a caliente night right there.
There you go, muy caliente. Karma, that one's for you, buddy. I hope you listen to this, and I hope you hear that. Anyway, okay. I swear, we're done. Austin, do you have anything else you want to add that we haven't already?
BioWare is pretty cool, and there are definitely a lot of cool, I think, outside of the box implementations that you could come up with for some of the different augments and stuff that you can get for sure. So
For
I
sure.
know that the temptation is always real when doing character creation to lean into the cyberware side of things, because it's literally in the name of the genre, so it's hard not to. But
yeah, this gives a good alternative.
Give your BioWare a second look, because I think that there's some cool stuff that you can do there.
Lots of cool stuff that you can look into. You know what? Mix and match while you're at it. Just clear it with your GM first. All right. You guys, thank you so much for being with us here. I've had a great time. I hope you had a great time, Austin. I think we both had a great time here at the end.
As always.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We super appreciate you. As always, do feel free to come talk to us about all of your Shadowrun adventures and fun times that you have in the shadows with us over on our Discord. Look into becoming a patron if you want. That helps us keep the lights on and helps us with bringing you more of this wonderful, crazy content. I super appreciate all of you, regardless of what you do. Thank you so much. And as always, you guys, we will catch you on the next one.
The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. is granted permission to Critical Hits to use such names, logos, artwork, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Critical Hits in any official capacity whatsoever.